everyone, it's Alan Schimmel. Are we on the brink of making developers obsolete? You're watching Techstrong, gang. Hey everyone, it's Alan Schimmel for Techstrong Gang and Techstrong TV. Welcome to our Friday show. It's the Friday before Christmas. A lot of you may not even be working next Monday. Tuesday's Christmas Eve. A lot more of you aren't working then either. So this may be the last time we see you till next year. Wow, this year went really quickly. We should do a retrospective of Techstrong Gang because we've covered so many great things, and what a great gang we've assembled. You know, every day there's some different faces in here. But when you look over the course of months, just some amazing people with some amazing discussions around an amazing year of tech news, and not just tech. We cover everything here. That's why I love doing it. It's kind of therapeutic for me, I'll be honest with you. But let me introduce you to our gang for this fine Friday, last Friday before Christmas, and we'll jump right into things. First of all, joining us, our West Coast contingency. We've got a West Coast contingency. We'll defer to the lady in the red background. We'll let her go first today. It's our resident marketing and MarTech and all-around expert person, Lisa Martin. Hey, Lisa, it's great to have you here.
Alan, it's great to be here. I've been on the gang for about 6 months now, and I've been a proud gang member.
You have?
So, yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. And we're going to have some great conversations today, including AI and Santa.
There you go. I think we should get her a jacket.
Real?
Techstrong gang member.
Well, you know,
get one?
Well, that's going to happen soon.
We're going to, well, I should have done it with the, Futurum has this store where you can go download a quarter zip and a vest and everything. And I sent in the Techstrong group logo. I should have sent in the gang logo and had done a gang release. I may, I have a local shop here that I deal with. I'll go talk to them and get something done for us.
Right, because you can't be the gang unless you got colors. So there you go.
So do we go hoodies or like vests? I mean, hoodies would be the right gang thing to get.
Hoodies.
I
vote hoodies.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave it to me. Thank you, Lisa, for suggesting that. Of course, someone's got to pay for it, and we'll have to tap into the royal treasury of Silicon Valley there from our resident czar, John Swartz. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, speaking of gangs, I went to a NHL game this week and a West Side Story broke out.
Really?
Yes, the Sharks and the Jets.
Oh, is the Shark? Once you're a Jet,
The
you're a
Shark Tank,
Jet.
yes.
Mike, you want to sing a couple of bars
the
of
Jets are
that
actually
for
one of the
us?
better teams.
That's
Sorry?
okay.
No. Mike says, no, you don't want to hear me sing.
There's a reason why he's a writer.
Yeah, once you're
Yes.
a Jet, you're a Jet. You know, I still remember the first time I saw that movie, the original, not the Steven Spielberg remake.
Yeah.
And,
Jerome
growing up in
Robbins,
New
yeah.
York, I don't know if it was the same for you guys not growing up in New York, because that movie was kind of real, right? In terms of the dynamics of, I mean, not that I was in a gang with colors or anything like that, no. But that whole ethnic sort of, this is where you hang out, go to your handball court, go play by your basketball courts. Don't hang out with those women, and for us, it was based around high schools, because high schools was what kind of defined your neighborhood, unless you were bussed into a different neighborhood. But anyway, John, I'm glad you had the Jets and the Sharks.
It was a good game,
enjoyed
actually, and there were a
hockey
couple fights. Yeah, there were a couple of good fights, but it was a tremendous game. Jets won 4-3. Jets are a great team, actually. They're much better than I thought. But anyway.
Mike and I
it's
went to
Silicon
a
Valley.
hockey game. We saw the very famous anonymous Utah Hockey Club.
Great.
We saw a
The
fight there
The
too.
Anonymous Hockey Club won. Something.
Yeah. They beat up some little guy. It was bad. Anyway, moving on from John Swartz, let's go over to the Avalanche man there in Denver if we're going to stay with that hockey motif. It's our future VP analyst, Mitch Ashley. Hey, Mitchell, how are you?
Doing real good. My idea of big city activity was like Dragnet. And then I saw West Side Story. I'm like, what the heck is that? That was foreign to us in Nebraska. We're like, what are you people talking about? What is this? But it's a good music.
That was good music. That was good music.
Natalie Wood. Woo!
I mean, of course, I wasn't old enough to see it on Broadway, but they tell me that the play was, in fact, much better than the movie, as
It
is
was like
often the case.
1957 or 58.
Yeah, it's before my
when
time.
it came out. It was the late 50s.
Yeah,
Right.
the remake of the play was pretty good too, I got to say. So,
Yeah, no, I saw a remake like on the traveling Broadway circuit. That was very good.
Yeah.
I thought that was based more on the new movie, but I didn't realize we had West Side Story on our bingo card today. So I'm not prepared to
You never
really
know.
go
You
into
got
it.
to look at the backside.
Right,
No,
you
West
never
Side
know.
Story.
You never know on the gang.
The B-side.
Anyway,
all I got to say is opposite Krumke, these are juvenile delinquents.
Officer
Here.
Krumke, yeah. So
Oh my God.
we're going to wind up talking about West Side Story all day. This is what
You know,
happens
there
when you're
there's the
old and
West Side
feeble.
Story curse too. The people
Is
who won
it another
Oscars in the
Christmas
West
movie? I
Side
think it
Stories.
is.
Yeah.
No, but we used to have an officer who walked the beat in town. We called it town. You know, my grandma, I'd come home from school and she'd say, go up to town, get me a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, blah, blah. Because in those days you do that. Either you walked the 6-7 blocks or you took your little bicycle. And you'd go up there and you knew who the cop was walking the beat. You know, he'd walk up and down. He had that stick. Your mom would tell you if you don't behave, that cop's going to whack you with the stick. It's like, is he really going to hit people with that stick? I don't know. I never saw him make an arrest or do anything other than get free donuts at the bakery. But
If there was a cop walking the sidewalks in my city, it's because he was looking for me and other kids riding their mini bikes hiding between the houses. That's the only reason we saw
we
cops.
used to do that too. I had come on. We're never going to get to our stuff. Let's move along.
Yeah, no,
Let me
no.
play cop
well.
here. Move along, move along.
No long,
Um,
nothing to see here.
Our last gang member is our chief content officer, Mike Vizard. He's from the Bronx. They were badasses in the Bronx.
Yeah, you know, we have this thing called it's called BADASS, which stands for Bronx Anti-Defamation and Social Society. So
Yeah, that's them. I hardly knew anyone from the Bronx, I'll be honest. I knew a lot of Brooklyn people, a lot of Queens and Long Islanders, and a lot of city folk. There's people who live in Manhattan. We call them city people. But I didn't know a lot of Bronx people. Anyway, Mike, are developers becoming obsolete? Has AI, like much as we humans killed the mammoth, is AI killing the developer?
yeah, let's jump into this because there's a startup out there called Coder AI, and they have a natural language interface that you invoke a bunch of AI agents that are presented as avatars, and they go off and build you an application, and they handle specific little tasks. And I would normally say that this is, you know, an interesting startup and ignore it, but turns out these are all a bunch of ex-Microsoft people who built all this stuff. And it looks to me, if I listen to other folks, you know, Amazon is talking about the same thing with Q, and other folks have been hinting at the same thing. And what they're pointing at is that a lot of the applications we build are rote. They're basically forms and things that can be done by machines. But Mitch, you're a little closer to this. How far along are we, and what's going to happen?
Well, I think you could look to website tools, right? We've been through this generation of, you know, I have to build a WordPress site and buy a theme and get it all into this, or I can go to any number of sites and say, build me a site that does this, right? Now you can do this with natural language interface, thanks to generative AI. Same thing with code. It's in IDEs the developer uses. A lot of the announcements at AWS reInvent were about using generative AI to help you migrate systems, all that. So are we going to see low code or no code tools like Coder AI popping out? Oh, absolutely. And will they take care of many of the kind of general applications of I need these screens and this data and go get this? And Sure, they will. Is it going to eliminate the developer? It hasn't yet, at least by the number of people going to reinvent. So I wouldn't say it's made a dent. It probably won't for a while, but it is changing development. And yes, it is opening up development to so many more people, just like low code, no code did. I think we'll just see that continue to explode.
You know, Mitch, you mentioned, well, you could go to WordPress and get a theme and build a site the old-fashioned way. But let's not forget that's not really the old-fashioned way. That was the easy way, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was.
Right? It's a lot different than coding from scratch in HTML and CSS. I mean,
For sure.
WordPress,
Yeah.
really, you throw your theme on there, and it's kind of a GUI into building a website, much like, what was it, Dreamweaver was another kind of GUI
Mhm.
interface. The thing about WordPress is everything was in the database, and it's, it's a content platform
Now
like
you have
that.
Elementor and stuff like that that is sort of an IDE for your
Yep.
theme, and
So, I mean, that in and of itself was an abstraction on top of the code. But look, if we're going to get to 500 million developers in 7 years, you really think they're going to code? No, they're going to talk to an AI who does the coding for them. And so this is not, I don't even know if this is news.
Well, the thing that was cool that they kind of point out is a lot of the applications that we're going to build are quote unquote disposable. They're going to be short-lived things that we wouldn't have done before
Ephemeral.
because we couldn't find a developer who would do it for us. So I think it's going to open up a lot of creativity for folks, especially marketers who want to build some sort of application or something. But Lisa, when you look at this, I feel like there's a lot of awesome ideas that never get to see the light of day because I couldn't find a developer to actually go execute them.
Exactly. I think I like about this is the scale opportunity and this democratization of coding. I think that we're going to see you bring up marketers as a great use case of a function within an organization that can actually really apply a lot of creativity to application development and build things that help them work more efficiently, work faster, and things like that. So I'm excited about the scale and the democratization that Coder AI and tools like it are going to deliver to very many different functions across organizations.
I agree.
I just don't think we've seen the actual execution. I think we've been talking about it for all year, but I'm waiting to actually see, how it works in practice and how we put this in people's hands, and we'll see what happens. I'm certain it's going to happen, but I also feel like maybe we're having this moment where as soon as we get off this couch, we're going to kick some ass. So I'm hoping 2025 would be like people actually doing this stuff. I don't know, Mitch.
I think people are doing it now. I think, is it a majority of people? No. But are there people that are using AI to build the website? Yeah. Are there people who are, to me, this is just the no code movement one step removed.
Well, what it is, it's adding natural language interface to
Right.
it, to what we're already doing with low code, no code, right?
Yeah.
There are untold from ServiceNow to Airtables to smart sheets and everything else where, the original low code, no code tool was VisiCalc. I mean, that was our first build your own application really as an end user. And it's progressed from there. So that's what's different though, is one, it's natural language. I think one of the things that was a little confusing to me about the Coder AI launch was it's pick your model. Here and it lists all the models, you want to use ChatGPT for? I mean, if I'm a non-technical person, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've maybe heard of ChatGPT, but how am I going to pick the right model? You need to simplify it even more. Than
Mitch, I'm going to disagree a little bit there because,
that. Okay.
I spend a lot of time talking to non-tech people. I was talking about my dog. I brought the dog in for pre-surgical testing this week. I was talking to my vet. He asked me what I do for a living. I said, I couldn't. You don't want to know. I've been trying to tell my in-laws, my wife's family for 30 years. They don't understand it still. But I said, I'm in tech and in media and we report on what's going on. He said, I'm an AI guy. I said, oh, really? What do you do with AI? He said, I'm ChatGPT. He said, I looked at Claude. I've messed around with Gemini, but I like ChatGPT. This vet, older than me. I mean, he graduated vet school in 79. And, so he's not like some 20-something, Gen Zer. And he's a veterinarian, not a coder, not necessarily a tech guy. But here he is. He clearly wants ChatGPT versus Gemini and Claude. So
I'm not saying that they're transparent or should be transparent to the end user. This is like a specific use case beyond writing and kind of general productivity. How would I know whether Llama is better than Grok, better than GPT, better than whatever? I mean, maybe it is. It's just exposing it to let
Yeah.
people
Well,
experiment and let them choose,
I'll tell you, when you go on the ChatGPT app now, you pick your model, right? You could
Yep.
pick 01,
you
you
do.
could pick 40, 40 mini, but you could also pick other models that are optimized for specific tasks.
Mhm.
Now, the thing about Coder AI is it's agentic. It's not generative AI. And I just wrote an article for my end of year review and look ahead. I'm doing one for each of the Techstrong sites. And the one I did for Techstrong AI is that, look, when we look back 5 years, 10 years from now, I think 2024 will be the year of generative AI. But everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame, and fame is fleeting. Ooh, I'm surprised I said that. Fame is fleeting. Say that 10 times quick. But 2025 will be the year of agentic AI. And that's a little bit of a different animal. So now what I envision is, again, using a natural language interface, I'm going to tell my Coder AI or whatever I call my Merlin, hey, Merlin, go out and get me a website that has a calendar widget in it, a scheduling widget, a couple nice pictures of the family, and oh yeah, and I need a birthday reminders functionality. And Merlin goes out and does that.
So what will become of the professional developer then? Because we've already seen tools that kind of suggest that I can just sketch out what I want my application to do and using project management app or whatever it is. And then it will just be, automatically coded and built from there. And so it's a little higher level and more ambitious than what we're seeing out of the coder AI folks. But is that where the whole thing is going? Is that I need to understand how software works and I need to have some sense of how it's structured, but I don't need to know how to code it.
Let me give you my
But-
best Patty Lupon voice. I don't
Okay.
really
Let's
sing
hear
either, Mike, but you know the song I'm talking about.
Let's hear it. Go. You mentioned it. Go for it.
Don't cry for me.
Argentina. Oh.
No, but seriously, I don't know if it was Lisa or John or Mitch who said it earlier, that this gives people the ability to build apps that they wouldn't have gotten built before because they
Ye-
wouldn't want to waste a developer's time with it.
Yeah, as Lisa said
I
that.
was going to say this is kind of comparable. Like when you think about software engineers, think about I even think about people who are writing. It's with agentic AI or whatever it's going to develop or envelop. Is we're going to have to operate at a higher level of abstraction, be more creative, think critically, and problem solve. But that's something AI just can't replicate yet.
No, and I think there'll always be a need for professional developers who are doing tasks that a professional developer does, but they won't waste their time with those crazy marketing folks doing one-off little widget things.
Let me give you an IT perspective that
Okay.
we've been through this kind of cycle with low code, no code, right? So, and I think statements like we won't need developers anymore is just like we won't need operations anymore for DevOps. It's sort
Right.
of that.
No ops.
That's a bridge too far. We're not, maybe someday, but we're a long ways from that. But to the point with low code, no code, what it does is put the tools in the hands of end users, citizen developers, if you want to call them that, to create their own stuff. And at some point, they get to a place where they're like, okay, now I need single sign-on. Well, how do I get that? I go talk to the security people or IT. I need data in this system. How do I get that? Let me go talk to the people in IT to get that. Or I need my app to talk to some other app. I'm doing a front-end inventory system, but I needed to talk to Salesforce. How do I do that? Is that IT or do I go to the Salesforce person in marketing? So what happens with these things is security, data, and integration with other things drive people to talk to the next step up, which is how do I connect my stuff to more things? I need to do more than I'm able to do on my own, because those are not in the environment that I can create my own applications. And so, and what actually over time, what also happened was now low code, no code also starts being used by IT people, right? Sometimes they take over. Lisa Martin says, okay, that was great. I'm busy doing other stuff now. Why don't you take that over, Mitch, for me? Just maintain that for me. And somebody in IT runs it for them, or maybe somebody else in marketing. But oftentimes that comes back to now we have a lot of IT people using low code, no code. I think the same thing will happen here. And the same drivers will bring people to need to work with IT for some things and cooperatively work with IT on other cases.
Agreed. Guys, we're 20 minutes in on this one, though. We're getting our NORAD warnings that Santa is warming
Oh.
up.
Yeah, I
Warming
think
up the sled.
we're getting docked for the Jets and the Sharks conversation. That shouldn't count against our time, should it? I went some time back.
Yeah.
When you're a shark, Mitch. I want to come to America.
Like
Okay.
bringing a knife to a gunfight. Okay, damn.
This is the Broadway version of Techstrong Gang.
Yeah, we could do like a Broadway hits thing. Okay, but we've got to take a break. We're going to come back, and just like we're making developers obsolete, are we replacing Santa with an AI? Tell me it ain't so. You're watching Techstrong Gang.
Modernize your business to fuel innovation and elevate customer experiences. With the Builder Community Hub, AWS and its partner network provide essential tools for transforming applications and infrastructure to fully leverage the cloud. Discover free trials, in-depth demos, and essential resources to empower DevOps engineers and developers to deliver value faster and more reliably. Visit the Builder Community Hub to learn more.
All right, we're back, and as Alan promised, we're talking about Santa and AI. And of course, I have a few wishes for the Yankees, so we'll see how this all turns out. But John, this is your story. We're talking about, hey, are folks going to engage with an AI Santa, or is the poor little fella who goes to the mall every day and has all those kids sit on his lap out of business?
Oh God, I hope not. So are you ready for AI Santa, everybody? There's this company called Tavas. Now they're backed by Y Combinator, Sequoia, and Peter Thiel of all people. And it's basically what they've created is this conversational video face. They claim it's the first, and it's a Santa who watches, listens, and kind of talks to you and decides whether you're naughty or nice. I tried it. It was eerily effective, and also, I have to admit, really creepy. So for instance, I told Santa that I burned down a village. So he admonished me for being naughty, and he told me you can't do
10
that,
Hail
right? You can't be
Marys,
rewarded.
10 Hail Marys and go home.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Coal in your
but
stocking.
yeah, I know. But what's new? But what's interesting to me though is that the idea behind this is, of course, they're going to catch us and they're going to use the eye candy with Santa, but it goes beyond that. So they're going to sell to companies who will embed their technology, their API into their products. So you'll do things like you'll interview candidates. Could you imagine talking to somebody who's not real, interviewing for a job and trying to make a good impression with an inanimate object? They're going to do a teaching of some sorts, like any type of teaching, actually.
I got
And
to tell you,
they're going to bring along celebrity clones. It's so weird. I mean, but
you want to hear
understand where they're
weird?
going.
I got one better for you, John. I sent this article to Mike. I wanted to put it on. Mike, did you see the article I sent you?
I did. I was gonna not talk about that because it's Christmas and we could wait till the new year before we get over
the cat's out of the bag already.
No,
Let's
you gotta
go
tell
with
us
it.
now.
You want to hear weird? I'll tell you friggin' weird. We got a company that's going to spend a couple of hours interviewing you, asking you about 1,000 questions about your life. All things like they have a library of 1,000 questions they could ask you about your life, your children, your spouse, your jobs, your everything. They also take pictures. listen to your voice. When you pass away, your family will have a virtual you, an AI you, to ask questions to. Mom, how did you feel when you gave birth to me? And a AI photorealistic representation of your mom based upon her pictures is going to, it's not like recording, spinning back what the questions they asked your mom, but based upon that model, based upon that large language, or, on that large LLM, whatever you want to call it, of those responses, of the data and stuff that your loved one gave to it, it will respond to you in your mom's voice, or your dad, or whoever, your spouse, whoever it is, right? And they will be there to talk to you, and the stuff they're saying is based upon their life.
It's kind of like
This is-
AI
this
characters
is-
in the
this-
holodeck, when you see
Yeah, but this is
President
not
Lee-
just some medical unit. This is a
No.
loved one, a picture
No, I mean,
of
this
your
is
loved
Characters
one
on the holiday.
based upon
this
her
is
stuff.
complete and total bonky, Bill. Look, part of
Tell us how you really feel. It's rare that Bizarre gives us a real answer like that. I'm usually the
part
one.
of
You have an
grieving, part of
opinion on this,
grieving
do
is
you,
letting
Mike?
go,
humbug.
Part of grieving is letting go. It's part of the natural process of life. So if you're going to sit there and play around with AI and ask some questions about, like, Dad, what happened to that $500,000 that I thought you were going to leave me? It is psychologically bad for you. You gotta get on with your life.
Well,
Unless people are going to
do you
live
think
forever.
it's
and these
psychologically
machines-
bad? That's one man's opinion. What about the rest of the panel? Santa's baby stuff compared to this. What do you think
Oh,
about
I know.
that?
Well,
Imagine
there's
your
a whole thing
ancestors
about didn't the
talking to
Washington
people
Post
2 or
just do
3
that story
generations.
about
Hold on,
people-
one at a time. John's first, Mitch. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
wait,
John.
sorry,
I didn't hear
Mitch.
you talking.
Oh, sorry. So the Washington Post just did that story that Mike had sent to me about people in their AI relationships, people they were dating, and how this led to serious issues. Like some people actually ended up committing suicide based on this kind of weird relationship. And I have to tell you, this weekend it was raining hard on Saturday, and I decided I was going to talk to Gemini because I wanted to compare
Tell
notes
us
about
more, John.
It's
Okay.
Ursa. Ursa's my friend now.
Uh,
So Ursa was giving me ideas on a narrative for this book that I'm starting to write. And I asked Ursa for an outline, and I basically gave a basic concept. And I got to tell you, within 5 seconds, and this is actually kind of interesting, not creepy, but within 5 seconds, she gave me an outline that was just as good as something that I'd worked on.
there's
and
no
I
doubt
started
that
thinking, should
that's
I
getting better.
Yeah,
Right.
and I started thinking,
But that's not the
this is
same
weird
thing as
part.
talking to some person that you think is in the machine, which is just, beyond the pale.
Yeah, but I was scared of going back and forth with this person because they're dropping little hints in terms of trying to
Did she
become
say
more
she likes
friendly.
long walks on the pier or something? I mean,
Short bears.
Well, I mean, I could see how it would devolve actually. So there is that danger, and especially, I mean, the idea of a loved one talking to them beyond the grave to me is just sacrilege. But that's just me.
sacrilege. Mike's
like it.
review. You like it, Lise?
I like it. I would love to have my dad's voice still. So I love that idea. Maybe
mean,
I'm not. Maybe
I
I'm thinking
think
about
what
it
you-
too high level.
No, but here's I think what you got to do. I think as long as you recognize that, no, this isn't your dad.
Yeah.
Right? This
Sure.
is not your dad beyond the grave. This is a nice AI parlor trick or
Yes.
that gives you some sort of comfort in hearing your loved one's voice
Yeah.
and so forth. And it, and it's based upon the things they're telling you is based upon what they told the AI at
Yeah.
that level. For a child losing, let's say, a parent or a loved one, I could see it being terribly damaging for what Mike is saying, that it interferes with the grieving process and the healing process.
I think of it more as from an ancestor standpoint. Not I just lost my parent or brother, sister, whatever. Yes, that could be a scenario. But think about wanting to talk to your grandfather who you never knew. What was it like when you were growing up? You
That
know, I
that
heard
would
you
be
walk.
cool. I mean, and
I
maybe
heard you
that's
walk
what
uphill
we've
both
got
ways.
in
Yeah,
3 to 5 generations. Maybe you'll be able to do that. Like your
it would be
grandkids,
cool.
can you see like some little Vizard in the year 2075 says, Grandpa Mike, why did you wear the Yankee Santa hat? Because I was a
Because
Well, this
crazy
is why
Yankee fan.
because
well,
I
this
was
is why people
grieving
do
over the fact that
videos,
they haven't
right?
won the World Series in a decade. How about that?
Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
And that
The poor
captures the
Yankees. The poor
essence of
Yankees. Only
Grandpa Mike.
27.
Now go play in front of your own
Only
house,
27
son.
world championships.
Get off my lawn.
Come on,
Stop
man.
my
But
lawn.
you know, this
Hey,
is why people do
just while we were
videos.
sitting here, I typed into ChatGPT. I'm feeling sad today. Give me your response in the narrative, like my mother talking to me, and it has all this stuff. You know, you should, Bubba, you should go take some time, Bubba, and it ends. Just so you know, I'm proud of you for being so thoughtful about what you're
Really?
feeling.
There you go. There you go. But maybe, but you know what? Maybe we all need a little of that, especially in
Feel
these crazy
compassion.
times that the world is in. Maybe we all need a little hug, a
Self-help
little,
LLM,
hey, we
compassion.
love you. And I mean, think about it from a
Yeah.
loved one point of view, saying, your mom telling you, hey, it's going to be okay.
If it was my father, he'd say, "What the hell are you talking to me for? Don't you have a job to go to?"
Don't get
Well, this
busy.
is
I'm
why
going to give you
what
something to do. That's what I'm telling you.
I knew we were off
Yeah.
the rails early today when we started doing the Sharks and the Jets and the
Yeah.
Broadway shows. I
Yeah.
just didn't realize how depraved it was going to go into left field here. But hey, why don't we all do AI things of ourselves like that, and we could just have the Techstrong gang in perpetuity?
Oh boy.
Well,
You know, they are going to take this stuff and shove it into a model anyway, whether we like it or not. So
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
yeah.
So like,
It's gonna
your
happen
Alexa
in the
talking to my Alexa.
And then they're gonna combine it with the View and create a whole new show, and it'll just be crazy.
It's the crazy world we're living in. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to come back and we're talking about, I thought we solved the airtags for luggage problems, but maybe we haven't. You're watching Techstrong Gang.
Discover Techstrong Group, the epicenter of tech innovation. We're your go-to for reaching IT leaders and practitioners worldwide. Our secret? Impactful content that sparks awareness, engagement, and top-quality leads. With us, you'll access editorial websites, streaming videos, virtual events, custom content, analyst research, and more. Join our satisfied clients. Let's revolutionize your tech journey. Contact us today and tell your story to the world in the most powerful way with Techstrong Group.
All right, folks, we're back and we're talking about airtags in your luggage. And I guess the airlines now are finally cotton on to this whole idea because they're going to actually work with you to go find your luggage. And I guess everybody who's been on any kind of holiday trip or vacation trip or whatever it is has had that experience once where your luggage just didn't show up. And especially if you're on vacation, you wind up wearing the same clothes that you clean every day for 3 days straight while you're waiting for your luggage to show up. It's a great experience. But Lisa, let's start with you. I mean, is this an example of maybe where AI and customer service and tags is all going to come together in a way that has a better experience for everybody? And this is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. I love it. I'm flying out tomorrow. My dog, the only air tags I have right now are on my dog's colors, so I can find them when they escape. But I love the idea of Apple actually partnering with airlines and with, is it Sita, the company whose baggage tracing system is used by more than 500 airlines and ground handlers at 2,800 airports. I love the idea because what some of the stats were in this article was that about 270,000 bags are lost, damaged, or delayed each month. And using tracking devices has only improved mishandled baggage by 9% from 2022 to 2023. So I like the idea of this partnership. I like the AI coming together with the people and the devices and the partnerships to help improve that process. I think it can go a long way from a customer satisfaction perspective for the airlines and the baggage handling folks at airports. So two thumbs up, I'm going to get an AirTag for my bag for my flight tomorrow.
So,
Well, how many people are like, I won't check my bags because I may never see them again. under any circumstance, right? I rarely, unless I have to check a bag, I won't check a bag.
But is
for
that
reason.
why you don't check it, Mitch?
That's one, that and just the time delay.
It's the
those two
time
factors.
delay. Though I
That's the
mean, it
biggest
takes so
factor.
long to get your bag
But
if you don't
I'm
have
thinking
to.
back to last holiday season with my kids. They flew to Boston and back to see family, and they were on the Southwest Airlines debacle.
Yeah,
if you
oh
remember
God,
that?
yeah.
And
Oh,
they
yes.
they couldn't tell you where your luggage was. So just having an AirTag, Lisa, which I do have it in my backpack as well as things I check in, just will tell you where. If the airline doesn't know where it is, at least you can. I know it's sitting in Denver and it never left, or it's in Chicago, but I was going to Boston.
And what good does that do you?
Well, at least you know where to tell them to look.
So it's
right?
peace of mind.
Yeah,
and
I
when,
would say.
and when they came back to Denver, they had a big area in DIA where all these bags were sitting out. Well, guess what? We have the iPhone. We're like going around, bing, bing, looking for our luggage instead of trying to pick it out of 10,000 bags sitting there.
Yeah.
It was a
That
hack.
makes sense.
It really was.
So I
the
thought that
Southwest Airlines was Southwest Airlines incident that Mitch alluded to is what, in a sense, is the events that kind of sparked this interest as among the airlines. And some of the airlines are, I think, about 15 that Apple's working with: Delta, United, Air Canada, British Airways. Southwest isn't one of them, but
well, their
a friend
IT's
of mine
not up there yet, but
Shocking.
yeah, God, yeah. But a friend of mine who was traveling through Europe told me that he used AirTags because going from country to country, sometimes it was hard to move the luggage. So they just checked it through instead of carrying it, schlepping it on
was
and off.
my understanding, though, that the AirTags have lithium batteries in them and that they don't want them on luggage. And that was a no-no. I got yelled at by a TSA guy once about it.
Nice.
But that being said, maybe they've changed their thing. But so this is one of those feel-good stories. Lisa's going to run out and buy an airbag, good for Apple. But let's be realistic, guys. We all of us here, I think, travel a decent amount compared to normal people. Mike, I just love that look. I can't help but look at you in that Yankee Santa hat. It's good for you. I can't wait for the AI of you to explain this to your grandson. But anyway, most of us, when we lose our luggage, we don't really lose our luggage. Our luggage is delayed. I'd love to see the breakdown of how much is delayed versus truly lost. Because my experience has always been, is they know just where my bag is. Back at the last airport when it didn't get onto the plane, and it'll be on the next flight to wherever I already am. And then the fight becomes, do you expect me to come back to the airport and pick that luggage up because you delayed it or lost it? You're out of your mind. Have it delivered to where I am. And they say, oh, we don't do that anymore because we're cheap. And that you find out what your airline you're flying is made of, right? Are they going to deliver that delayed luggage to you or not? But that's really the issue for me. Is the things I've run into is, it might be delayed a day or two getting to where you are, but they kind of, at least they know where it was last, right? Because isn't that the whole point? They got RFIDs in the tags, don't they?
I got a better idea.
Okay.
I'm going to put the tag in my bag. The bag's going to be in the hallway. You come drive over with your vans and pick up everybody's luggage and bring it to the airport separately from me. So, A, I don't have to carry it. B, then I'm not lugging this crap through security and causing all kinds of havoc and messes. And then you put
That
it
would
on
be
the
a
plane.
great idea.
By the way, drop it off at my hotel, all of which will be in a file somewhere that you can read. And let's just
So
get out of the business.
United American offered that when the last couple times I went to Hawaii, to Maui. It wasn't that they pick it up and bring it in for you, but they would get it in Maui and drop it off at your villa or hotel or wherever you were staying. I think it was just like $35 a person. It was well worth it to me, not to sit around
like
the
it.
luggage thing and schlep it around, just drop it off. I
Yeah,
didn't
because
know they
we're
picked it up.
causing all kinds of chaos at the airport with all these people with bags that people are trying to scan and all this other stuff. That doesn't need to be there. It can all just go
Yeah.
away.
Well,
and
no,
let
I
the
love
bag-
to see these people bringing trunks and trying to tell me they're carry-on, right? And then you mind if I move your bag from the overhead? Because they're going to try to jam in some shipping trunk. in there, and then try to close the door. Boom, boom. This little old lady's got big biceps. Boom, she's trying to close that luggage door. I think airlines, beyond doing this, they got to get serious about enforcing carry-on luggage rules. If it's not a carry-on size, don't carry it on. I sound like
that was a pub.
Someone said United has offered a bounty for people at the gates to catch you for carrying a third thing on, when you're not supposed to have
they
three
do
things.
that a lot too.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they got to get
Southwest
serious
is militant
about it.
with that.
Yeah,
Southwest
well,
is
but you know what? When it affects you, you're like, darn, damn. But the fact of the matter is, it makes more room for everyone. How many of we've all heard it. Very sorry if you're just getting on now. The only space left is in the front. Check your bags, and then when they check it there, boom! Now you're in check luggage. You're waiting an extra 20 minutes to a half hour.
Yeah, but the issue is they don't have a place to check for that size anymore, right? Everybody checks in electronically, and then I go to the gate, and the TSA guy doesn't care how big the bag is. And then, so by the time anybody figures out that bag is too big, you're standing in front of the gate, and you're just going to make the plane more delayed because they're like, we're not going to take that bag and load it up for you and move it out from there. So part of this problem is just that, the process has changed to the point where there's no inspection thereof. So people do what they want.
Now there's a business. Let's do AI bag inspection as people walk in. Right? You walk through the door and a red light goes on. It says, hey, that bag's a checked bag. You got to go to check bag with it.
Talk to the AI baggage handler to tell you where your bag is.
Like Rosie.
I say all bags are checked before you even get there.
I like that system. If you could come up with something where it's economically worthwhile, I'd do a business plan around it, Mike. This could be a whole new career for us instead of dicking around here talking about AI all day.
AI is going to take over the show anyway, eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all of our.
I've been recording you
John
guys all this
automatic
time. I am going to do
Right,
that.
exactly. You're
Sorry,
storing all
John
of our
Swartz
answers in
is
our
dead,
thought
but don't
process.
worry. Long live John.
Yeah,
I think
We're
any idea
expendable.
we have on this show should automatically be filed for a patent application by the AI model that's watching the show.
I've got it's Patty,
There you
my AI agent for patents. All right. Well, we've devolved it. It's a damn lucky thing it's the weekend because I don't know if you guys have started drinking yet or what, but
I did not.
it's been a
Eggnog.
bit of a crazy show. We are going
I
to
don't
do a show on Monday, aren't we?
We are doing a show on Monday.
All
We're
right. So
gonna
this
do
isn't
a,
our official
retro,
a retro look.
2024 retrospective.
Wow. So is that something we're going to record though, or no?
We're gonna record it tomorrow,
Oh,
and it'll run Monday.
So our last show of the year is coming up. You don't want to miss it. But until then, have a great weekend. Those malls are going to be crowded, I'm sure. But if you haven't done your shopping, I think most places it's too late to order stuff online and get it in time. So good luck to you on that. On behalf of all of our Techstrong gang members, not just the ones on today, we wish you all a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And for those celebrating Hanukkah is Christmas night this year. So happy Hanukkah to everyone as well who celebrates, and any other holiday in this festive season. We hope you enjoy it. On behalf of Techstrong Gang and all of our gang members, we're out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hey, everyone. It's Sunny.
And share.
Ladies and gentlemen, tech enthusiasts, and future gazers, gather round. The biggest, boldest, most mind-blowing predictions for 2025 are coming your way at the Predict 2025 virtual event on January 9th.
Oh, Sonny, you're predicting something again. Last time you tried this, you said Laserdiscs were the future. How'd that work out for you?
Hey, Cher. Not every prediction's a hit, but that's why we've got the real experts this time. Top analysts, visionaries, and tech leaders sharing what's going to rock our world in 2025.
So no sunny predictions this time? No flying toasters making a comeback?
Very funny, Cher. But seriously, we're talking AI breakthroughs, cybersecurity game changers, the future of DevOps, cloud innovations, and so much more.
And what about my favorite prediction, a smart mirror that tells you how fabulous you look every morning? That's real innovation.
You're already ahead of the tech, Cher. But if you want to hear the really big stories in tech for 2025, you've got to tune in on January 9th. The event kicks off at 8:45 a.m. Eastern and runs until 2:30 p.m.
And the best part, it's all virtual. No stuffy conference rooms, no long commutes. Just grab your coffee, your laptop, and join us from anywhere in the world.
You know what else? It's not just predictions. It's insights, strategies, and a whole lot of fun.
Well, Sonny, if this event is as good as you say, maybe they'll finally name a technology after you, like the Sonny 2.0, predicting your jokes before you tell them.
That's a good one, Cher. But the real joke is if you're missing out on this. So don't miss Predict 2025.
That's right. Mark your calendars, January 9th, 8:45 a.m. Eastern. Be there or you'll miss the biggest scoop on the future of tech.
See you at Predict
2025.
Be there.